Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. Ooh, I really like the red and blue.
Yeah, the red and blue lights look nice.
I really like the red and blue. You're like, we're going to turn those off. We're just going to go ahead and turn those off.
Chairs. I guess I could leave them on. That's fine. But nobody's there.
I think it looks really cool.
It does look good. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things that I think we've updated about this room since we've created, or since I've been here.
Yeah.
Is doing that update. I think looks spectacular.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And it's funny because normally I would say that the texture on the walls is just kind of like weird, having the like painted brick. That makes the painted brick actually look really cool. So.
Yep.
But hi everyone,
hello.
Welcome. It's insert stream title here Thursday. Jen and I come into the stream room.
That's one of the most difficult things I have to do every day.
Yeah.
Is to think of a title for the stream.
Jen's in here setting everything up. I get in here and I'm like, oh, what are we calling the stream today? Jen's like, no idea. I'll usually throw some random thing out there, and sometimes it works.
It's usually random, that's for sure.
I think the last random one I threw at you that you went with was the potato one.
Potato, yeah. Boots, cat's potato.
Boots, cat's potato. Wad potato ton. I actually kind of like that, Wad potato ton. That's not
Wad
what we were
potato
calling
ton.
him earlier, but Wad potato ton.
Wad potato ton
is pretty cool. Insert what here? What where Thursday? OMG Mike, you know what we meant by it. Don't you get innuendoing.
Happy almost Friday, long weekend Friday too.
Happy Friday to y'all.
No, it's not Friday yet. We can't say Happy Friday yet because that would be wrong.
That's actually right. Corvus Thorax, you threw me
a little too confusing
for a loop. Hello, hobby friends. Exrian, Bot Tomato, Jade, Corvus, Captain Mannerings, Songer. Ooh, I haven't seen Songer in a while. Hi, Songer.
I think Songer was here yesterday.
Was he?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people talking. We have a lot more people talking in chat.
We do have, yes, chat is...
Nowadays. So if I miss you on a day-to-day basis, I'm sorry. But I notice when I see your name, and I haven't seen it in a
Jason
while.
was watching some, I don't know if it was a live stream or a video of a stream. For some video game.
Mm-hmm.
I think the video game he's been playing. And I walked in and I'm like, what is happening in that chat? Because it was just
scrolling. Yeah.
So fast. I'm like, nobody can read that. And the guy, he's like, yeah, this guy's like 20,000 people watching him at a time. And he never pays attention to chat because he's so in the game. And he's just like in the, like this the whole time, just watching. And chat's just
going crazy.
And and he's like, every once in a while, like if he's at a point like where he can pause, he'll look at chat and say something. But for the most part, he doesn't even acknowledge. Like, that's crazy.
Elay Drick 79.
Chat's
hey,
the best part.
Welcome, first time chatter in the stream today. Hi, hello, good morning.
Hello.
Are you related?
It's
to
not
Gamut?
morning.
Are you
it's
related
always
to
morning.
Gamut?
It is not
Elay?
morning.
Somewhere.
No, incorrect.
Elay Drick. Because we have a Gamut Elay
Boots,
here.
cats, potatoes.
His name is very similar.
Who? Somebody has a...
Elay Drick.
Uh-oh, look out. They're related.
Oh, X-Ray, and it was you. That's why today's stream is insert stream title here.
What was it?
X-Ray said, I need to apologize. I was supposed to remind you of the title for yesterday's stream, and unfortunately I missed it, and I messed up.
Ruh-roh.
I also messed up.
What's it supposed to be?
I have a whiteboard right here. I need to write it down.
Let us know, X-Ray.
She has the tools.
I have the
Jen
tools. I'm
has
just
the
not
stream.
using
The
them.
stream yesterday, we joked it was supposed to be Jen can't remember the stream title.
Yeah.
Oh man, Jason.
I have my
Bungie
own
Mike's
whiteboard,
got the right idea.
and I can put it on the whiteboard.
No, you didn't.
So that works for me too. Put it on the whiteboard.
Put it on the whiteboard.
Good times and bad jokes.
We like, oh yeah.
Good times and bad jokes.
Was that it?
I think that was it.
Good times and bad jokes. That seems right. That seems right. Hello, everybody. I had to go get water.
Good bad jokes times.
Mike never has a right idea.
Mike never has the right idea. Sorry, Mike. I tried to. Jason.
The stream title was supposed to be Painting Plaid Armor for Chat. I disagree. I think I would have remembered that.
Never.
Hoosiers, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, bummer. Is it
I-
humid there?
I'm right there with you right now. Hopefully it will go away
You
by
guys
the end
need
of
to
the week.
drink more water.
I have been not good about drinking water. So I've
Wagwanyment hobbies on deck. Wagwanyment?
Wagwanyment?
Malev struggles with the English language.
Does he struggle as much
Good
as I do?
times, bad jokes. Thank you, X3 and Jason remembered
You
it.
guys are very
Not
close.
today. He wasn't in here when
It's
I
part
was
of our
doing
charm.
Were
it.
you separated at birth?
Maybe.
You do kind of look alike.
Do we?
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah. Don't you think? Malev and Jordan look a lot alike?
Yeah, I mean, they could be twins.
Twins.
Malev?
Malev will send you a voice recording of how to pronounce it.
Jordan, it's
Here
pretty
for the
rude of
nerd
you to
stuff.
refer to Jason as a headache.
Exactly. Right? Exactly right. Freaking guy.
Corvus Thorax said, I've had a headache since Monday. It's called my job.
Hey, look.
Freaking guy.
Jason's not a headache. He's a migraine.
Gotta put a little
Just kidding.
Jason
Jason-
steez on it. I don't know what those words mean.
He's just making stuff up.
Jason is like an ice cream sundae on a hot summer day.
I'm old. I don't know what you
Delightful.
kids are talking about.
Sometimes a little messy. Except for when your beard saves all the rest of it.
In
You
an
keep-
Arnold and Danny kind of way, exactly. Practically identical.
Does them glasses be looking fly?
Them glasses be looking fly.
Dem glasses be looking fly.
Yo.
Yo.
Yo!
He needed to put yo at the end. Them glasses be looking fly.
Hey
yo.
dog, them flasses be
This is a
Next
bold
time.
sense of humor.
Next title option, I cured my pile of shame. Ask me how. I like that one. Ask us about our pain.
Doctors don't want you to know how to cure your pile of shame. Tune in for what they don't want you to know.
What the heck did he just say? Oh no.
So we're hiring for a studio artist.
You can never replace me. I am there is nobody like me on this planet.
We have a monument. What's our monument gang sign? Who flashed it?
Huh?
I said, as he flashes the monument gang sign. Is,
No, we don't got
what
one
is
of
it?
those.
Hoosiers, what is it? What did I miss?
Oh, Scanners, Corvus. What a horrible movie.
Headache levels: dull, sharp, migraine, aneurysm.
Walgreens does not stock Otter Pops.
Oh,
So he says, if you scroll up, it says last night he found out that Walmart does, or that Walgreens does not stock Otter Pops.
Who said that?
We gotta scroll up.
I need to know
I don't know.
if Jabe got Otter
I
Pops
scrolled
on
here.
the way home last night.
Here, I'm gonna...
Give me the mouse.
No.
You guys
Give me the
fight
mouse.
over the mouse.
It was Panic Bomb. Said, so I learned last night Walgreens does not stock Otter Pops.
Well, that seems wrong.
I'm just gonna sit here and steal the mouse from Jen all day.
Gabe, I have an important question.
Awkward is what's going on.
Did
Gabe,
you get Otter
Otter
Pops?
Pops?
Oh, Gabe was supposed to get 10,000% Otter Pops.
He was supposed to get
He was
10,000%
Remember?
Otter
It
Pops.
was 10,000% Otter Pop
10,000%
day.
was going to get Otter Pops.
I do not believe that he did it.
I even did the thing that I said that I was going to do last night.
That turned out well.
No, it did not.
What did you say you were
He
gonna
nearly,
do?
Jordan nearly killed himself by making
He-
pot stickers.
Oh, yeah. You were going to make
sucked.
pot stickers. What happened?
he did. He made 100 of them, and they made him sick.
You ate 100?
No. I made 100 of them.
Yeah.
And they were terrible and they made me sick.
Oh. How many did you eat?
Like 5.
Gabe 10,000% forgot. I
You-
told you he
when-
was
when
not
you-
going to do
when
it.
you make pasta, you make a decent amount of filling. You might as well just make a ton,
Uh-huh.
and you can freeze them,
Okay.
and then you can thaw them out and make them later. So I made 100 of them,
Uh-huh.
and I froze a whole bunch of them,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have to throw them out because they're bad.
What was wrong with them?
Garbage.
They tasted horrible, and
Did you
made
put
me sick.
sugar instead of salt?
No, you're actually supposed to put sugar.
Did you put salt instead of sugar?
No.
Was the meat bad?
That it might have been. It didn't smell bad when I smelled it, but.
Well, that's no good.
When did you buy the meat?
A couple of days ago.
Did you put it in the refrigerator?
I did.
Okay.
I think
You're supposed
if
to
I
do
recall, I bought it
Wait a minute.
Sunday
What?
night
Meat
late.
goes in the fridge? Wait.
I bought it Sunday night late.
At the store, they just have it in these big open trays.
It said it was good until the 26th. And I smelled it after I opened it, and it smelled like nothing. Which is generally the acceptable way to cook food. Gabe also, now that you're here, we need to know, did you go to Otter Pops?
No, he said he
said
10,000% forgot.
forgot.
How dare you 10,000% anything and forget?
It was because it wasn't on the whiteboard. Nick said, so is the studio painter position, is it a lateral move from my current position as weasel shaver?
Yes.
What you're saying is I can lateral move into Weasel Shaver?
No.
Got it.
Desert
Otter Pops
Scorpion
are
and
my
Yard Pigeon
blackboard.
pot stickers.
One job, Jabe. One job.
Desert Scorpions and Roadrunners.
Even had a nice car with AC and everything. It's not like you got your head got all sweaty and forgot. It was nice and cool.
Gabe's head's always sweaty.
What's the pay like? We have to pay you?
These guys are demanding.
Wait. You guys pay your employees?
Ooh, shush. Shush. Huh? Not while Jordan's here, folks.
We don't talk about that in front of Jordan.
we don't talk about that, guys.
All the paint you can eat. Wait a minute. No.
Can they pay you in paint if you already have the paint?
No, James' job is not, well,
Well,
I mean, that may have been his personal job, but that's not his Monument Hobbies job.
no. Gabe does not.
I don't think Jason calls us employees. If I remember correctly, we are terrorists. I do all the payroll now, and I don't call you guys terrorists. But Jason, yes. Payday was terrorist day when Jason did payroll.
What? What? You called it terrorist?
Like, I gotta pay the terrorists today.
What the heck? Jason's just smiling over here, not saying anything. He's just what?
I don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of this.
Oh my!
I am a good individual. I'm an upstanding citizen and only do upstanding citizen things. I would never call my wonderful, wonderful work compatriots terrorists. They are liars.
You're paid in convention paint, groupies, and tacos. I don't know about the tacos.
Convention paint groupies. That's an interesting.
But there
thought.
definitely are convention paint groupies.
Oh my gosh.
There you
Wind powered games. Are you guys excited for Gen Con? Of course.
Shiny bottle cap.
I'm always excited for shows.
Jason, are you going to Gen Con?
I will probably be going. You want to go to Gen Con since it's called Gen?
Okay.
Then I'm not going to Gen Con.
No.
You are.
Oh, no, I don't want to go without you.
Damn it. Gen Con's not my favorite show.
It's a bit much.
Not my favorite show.
I just want to go for the empanadas.
Oh.
You should go.
Oh yeah.
Bring me back some empanadas.
Jen, you got to go to Gen Con this year.
Are you hosting any events at Gen Con? We're not hosting anything at Gen Con.
We are probably going to be working alongside Atomic Mass with some stuff. I think there's a paint and take that we're planning, and then some events with them that will include like paint a model, play with a model, like paint and play. It's not really paint and take, paint and play that we're looking to do. But that's it. And we sponsor a lot of the painting
Classes.
teachers in the classrooms.
Yeah.
So the classes, a lot of the artists there will get paint from us for their class.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Gen Con as a whole doesn't really do like a big miniature focus thing. They do have the painting competition and we do prize support for that. So we're involved in everything that we can be.
Yeah, Mike, General Ginkgo has it right. If paid in tacos, how do you direct deposit? They just hand. Well, like, have you seen Birds?
Oh my gosh.
Malev, you are correct, and that's one of the
Ugh.
reasons why it's not my favorite show. There's too much. Like, I left the booth because I had to go have a meeting, and I left the booth because I wanted to go talk to artists and Artist Alley about doing some work with us. And by each time when I got back to the booth, I was like, my eyes were like shell shocked. I wasn't blinking. I needed like 15 minutes in a corner to cry. It's just too much. It's too much. It's wall to wall to wall people. Bumping
It
India,
really is.
banging India, sticking you with stuff, cosplay pieces hitting you, you know.
That is the worst part.
Oh my God.
You just get like a dangly bit that's like floating out here that just goes.
Nobody's in a hurry to get anywhere because they're all just like, you know, it's like rubbernecking every booth because every booth's got cool stuff to look at. I'm just like, I need out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, we are
You
interesting.
regurgitate tacos for pay?
We are interesting around here. I don't think anyone would deny that.
And so many people that don't shower. Correct.
You no
In the
hope of
summer.
selling Relic Blade to people who are just shell shocked from existing. It's kind of how it feels. It's kind of how it feels.
So Gen Con is Disney World. Gold Sense of Humor needs a don't eat the paint sticker on the back.
Oh, that's what I'll paint on the back.
That's a good one.
That's what I'll paint on the back.
Oh, that's funny. Because it's a bottle.
Yeah.
That's great. I
Is
love
the
it.
YouTube no name, that's Bud, right? Did we
What?
determine that?
What's that?
The YouTube with no name is Bud.
Bud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's Bud. That's Bud who says nice things about us.
Hi, Bud, who says nice
We've
things
all
about
had to
us.
buy new hats for our inflated egos. Thanks to Bud.
Genuinely, that sounds awful.
It really does.
Too many walls of people for you. It's a lot. I'm not a like amusement park person. I'm not a lots of people in one place type person.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We all shower here.
We
I mean,
do.
not here, but we all arrive having showered. Gen Con is where people don't shower. Allegedly. I have not been there, so I can't say for sure.
Jordan keeps meat in his desk.
Yeah.
I do not.
And then
Well,
complains
that's
when
why.
it's bad.
That's why his pot stickers are bad.
I literally spent like 4 or 5 hours making these things last night.
If Jabe's job is to buy Otter Pops, he's fired
Yeah, I was-
because he said he 10,000% forgot.
Yeah. That's a lot of forgetting.
Jordan doesn't shower at Gen Con, correct?
What?
Mike is coming to some very interesting conclusions today.
So you're paid in tacos and company co-ed showers.
No.
Exactly.
No,
Just like, no, Jason.
that is for sure an HR issue.
We don't do that HR thing here.
Jason, I think you need to talk to Cora tonight. when you
HR's
get home.
overrated. HR's at home asleep taking a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a kid in Dallas, we would go to Six Flags over Texas every now and then, or the state fair. And even as a kid, I remember not wanting to be there long.
Mm.
I'm like, it's just too much. I'm overstimulated.
Give me Disneyland any day of the week.
I can't do Disneyland.
I've never
I would
been to
go.
Disneyland
My
in
buddy
person.
was the booking agent for House of Blues in downtown Disney in Anaheim, and he booked in like the Bad Brains and old punk bands and some really good hardcore shows. And it was like one of the only places that you could go and get really good shows at that level. And so I would get free tickets all the time, and I'd go take photos and stuff like that. And every time he'd tell me there's a band, I'd be like, I'd have to sit there and think about how badly I really wanted to go see
do I
this band.
really wanna
Is
see
it
this?
really
Is it
worth
worth
it? It
Disney?
always was, you know. But
That's
going
awesome.
down there and finding parking and going to downtown Disney, and luckily most of those shows happen on like Tuesday night.
Yeah.
They're not like Big
Yeah.
Bill Friday night House of Blues
See, that's
shows.
the thing.
but-
I would love to go to Disneyland during the week. You know?
much quieter.
I think that's what you have to do
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you're smart.
I'd be very curious
have
to
not
see how
been
much
there.
of a difference there is.
During the week.
Yeah.
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 I think it probably depends. Like if you go in the summer, it's probably gonna be busy because it's summer. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went during the last time I went was October 2011. How long it's been since
2011.
and that was a good time to go. Weather was perfect. Wasn't overly crowded. You know, we had to wait in lines, but nothing.
Does Six Flags Texas still exist? I don't know. Corvus, you a Bad Brains fan? It was a great show. That was years ago, probably 2009,
Hi, Avian.
something like that.
Hello.
What's going on, Avian? You probably should go one more time to really cement how I feel about Gen Con. It's a great show for the people you meet and all that. It's just much. It's a lot of much. Like Gen Con is one of those shows where by the time we get done and we go have dinner and we get back to the hotel, you are out. There is no what are you doing at night at Gen Con.
Yeah.
It's I'm passing out.
Oh, really?
It's true.
Whereas at Adepticon, I can be like, yeah, let's play games.
Yeah,
let's
play Warcry
games
with
or
zombies. Let's
go
do
hang
this
out in
thing.
the
What are you
bar
doing tonight? Blah, 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 blah.
chat and- yeah.
Even though Gen Con, Adepticon has a lot going on, it does not sap your energy like Gen Con does, because just to go to the bathroom or to get a drink just drains your soul.
Yeah. It's weird. It's interesting that you mention it because it is very true, that difference between that show and other shows. Because I remember last year when Gabe and I were sharing a room last year at Gen Con, and I remember he and I would get back to the room and we were both like, nah.
September during the week, during
not
school
good.
hours is the best time for Disney.
Yeah,
like at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Ghost Hunter, I'm not going to Disney World anytime. Because it's in
Anytime.
Florida. And I'm sorry that you live in a place that I don't like.
Yeah, very, very little interest in going to Florida.
Don't like Florida. Live an hour from the Dells, gets to be a bit much, mainly go to make the kid happy. You said that you went there, was that today or yesterday? Or
To the
recently?
zoo,
You
right?
just mentioned that. And I saw that in Discord, and I had such a flashback because I went to Wisconsin Dells as a kid. And I remember, the one thing I remember is that I went with my dad and stepmom and my little brother when he was like 2. And we did one of those old time pictures, like where you put the clothes on and they
The
make it all
costume.
like, yeah.
How many attendees does UK Games Expo get?
Like 15.
Okay. That's like bigger than Adepticon, but not quite as big as like a Gen Con or...
No, like 15 people.
Oh.
And yeah, Disneyland on Thanksgiving, I think, used to be like the hack. You could go and it would be not busy, but now everybody knows it and they all go. So that's not a thing. Jess, thank you for the sub.
I don't remember how much attendance. Ed told me how much attendance they expect at UK Games Expo, but I don't remember what it was. I don't remember his answer.
I
have it in an email.
I'll figure it out.
You'll go, and there'll be people.
Yeah. Turns out, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because I'm going. I will be there.
Corvosaurus, Bad Brains, Black Flag, Misfits, Dead Kennedys, Fishbone, etc. Love all that era of punk. You're speaking G language.
Can you believe that that's next week?
What?
UK Games Expo?
Yeah, you said you leave Wednesday. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it hit me this morning when I was having a conversation with somebody about it. And I was just like, oh. I'm, like, getting on a plane to sit on a plane for 8 hours on Wednesday. Okay.
8 hours?
Yeah, I want to say it's, so...
Is it direct from Phoenix?
No.
Oh.
No. So I have a flight from here to Charlotte, which is like 3 hours, 2 hours, something like that. And then from Charlotte to Dublin, which is 8. And then Dublin to Birmingham, which is another hour and change. Yeah.
11,300 are expected at UK Games Expo this year, Jordan. So,
11,300?
Yep. Or 52,000.
Huh?
Unclear.
Oh, okay. 11,300.
The internet tells you 52K guests. There aren't 52K people in England. Waiting for teeny tiny victories response to that one.
I fly a lot. It doesn't bother me too much. The 8 hours part's gonna be a little rougher around the edges.
Get up and walk around.
Yeah. Oh, I will be doing so for sure.
Yourself some compression socks.
I have some.
Yeah, they're good for flying.
You pack it tight over here.
There's going to be more than 7 people, which is more than 6 too many for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Corvus, you're curious about what scissors? Oh, speaking of which, I found my scissors, babe.
Oh, where were they?
Right here.
I found them. They were right here. They were here the whole time.
I've been blaming Gabe for stealing my scissors. Gabe, you're off the hook.
Wait,
Are
wait,
those
wait.
the scissors you were curious about, Corvus? Is that what you were asking?
No. He couldn't have seen them, could he?
Oh.
Gabe is not off the
The
hook.
whole
He didn't
country
get
is
the
city density compared to U.S.
thingamabobs.
City density.
Wind-powered games. Any tips for using monument paints with a wet palette? Jordan only uses a wet palette.
I will
The
show
biggest
you.
tip is to make sure that your wet palette is not wet, right? And that sounds stupid, but a lot of people have it to where you can feel wetness on the paper itself, and that's not what a wet palette is for. A wet palette should have all the moisture underneath, right?
Just get it all wet. Let the sponge soak it all up.
Can't carry that much paint. Relapse on
And
and
I'll
Blood
overfill it.
Walrus. I'm good. I don't think I really want to go to China.
So overfill it. You can see it's like super, super, super wet. There's a lot of excess water in here. What I do is I grab a little thing, usually my paint cup, and I go pour all the excess out. I just have that. And I grab a sheet.
Oh.
So Corvus, you don't follow instructions because you just said that it says don't ask about the scissors, but yet
You asked.
you asked about the scissors.
First rule about scissors.
Don't ask about
Don't
the
ask
scissors.
about the scissors. There you go. Now you're ready.
Gabe returned the scissors because he realized he didn't need them for the Forgotten Otter Pops. Little less water than other paints, yes.
Yeah, the thing, and what we tell people is like our paints are made with the viscosity that's already ready for painting, whereas a lot of paints are not. And the reason for that is that most hobby paints require a thicker medium to hold as much pigment as we do. The magic with Pro-Acryl is we have more pigment in our paint, but the paint feels lighter. It's thinner viscosity right out of the bottle, but we have more pigment than everybody else. So, you know, everybody else, when it's like, hey, we have tons of pigment, it's like, yes, and your paint also feels like snot. It's thicker. Because that's the easy way to suspend pigment in a material, is to have the material be thicker so that the pigment doesn't separate and fall to the bottom. We've created a way to do that without it having to be a thick paint. So wet palettes are, a lot of people migrate towards them with other paints because those paints need to be thinned in order to work, period. Because in order to brush with them and not see brush strokes, you need to thin the viscosity. So a little bit of water goes a long way with them. With our paints, you don't need that part. You only thin our paints for opacity, right? So when painting, you have viscosity, which is the thickness of the paint, and opacity, obviously what you can get for layering and not be able to see through it and such like that. Pro-Acryl, you're really only ever thinning for opacity, period. That's why wet palettes aren't really necessary. You can use them, you just don't want them to be, you don't want them to be adding water to the paint and thinning it out, because if you make the viscosity even lower, it gets hard to control on the model, unless that's what you're doing is glazing and filtering and things like that. Our paint's thin like a miracle. You can thin them down to nearly nothing and work with them, but you have to have that be the intent. And a lot of times on the palette, that's not what you're expecting. So, but they will be thinning it to even a lower viscosity, which may not be what you want. So just be careful in that regard. I use a dry palette, so I just use a piece of glass. I don't use a wet palette, but Jordan does.
Corvus said, I only thin my Pro-Acryl with tears and shattered dreams.
Yeah, exactly. As you should. The tears of your foes.
The tears of your enemies.
Extreme
Tears of your enemies.
Jordan, spread the sheet out with some flat plastic card or even an old gift card.
Sure. Yeah, work.
Vector, we're in Arizona. It's never drier than here. So we get you on that one. But yeah, I use a piece of glass. 100% all the time. I will use a wet palette to show people our paints on a wet palette, but it's not something that I focus on. It doesn't add anything to my painting. It makes it more of a hassle to maintain as I mess with the wetness on the wet palette all the time and refilling it, the edges curling. I just don't like them. They're not a controlled process in what most people are saying is a situation where they want to control their paint better, but you're doing it on a platform that is not controllable. So that makes no sense to me.
Hoosier said, by the way, I watched the Rogue Hobbies video today. Have to ask Jen, what's it like living with a nurgling? I don't know how to answer that.
I don't know how to answer that.
Isn't
such a
Nurgle
great
like
response.
gross?
Yes. She had
I
me.
don't have experience with
She
this.
had herself and me pictured as nurglings in the video.
Oh. Well, I don't know, but I like living with Jason. That's pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, that's the nurgling that WAD shows.
Oh, sassy dancing all the time? I'm down for that.
Malev, no joke. Louise made, like, I think the de facto video for what a talk about colors should be. It was amazing. Great video. If you have not seen it, go watch her video. Not just because it uses our paints, just go watch it in general. She does a fantastic job of showing you the paints in a real life situation and just will blow your mind what she does with them. It's great.
Ryan Wallace, glad you made it.
Relapse, what's going on? You got hooked on using glass for painting, Corvus. You prefer being able to adjust your paint thickness up and down without the wet palette dictate. Exactly. Then that's what you need from your paint. Now, you can do it with a wet palette. You just have to do what Jordan just showed you, is use it more like a dry palette that reconstitutes when evaporation occurs, which is what it's supposed to be. It's just not very controllable. That video is on YouTube.
Vector said it's dry as in because it's so cold in the winter when heating the indoor air is insanely dry, like 20% humidity. So I'm going to tell you that right now, indoor humidity is 9%.
9. Our average is like 7, I think, here.
We have
7 to 10, just to give you an idea.
Very dry.
As close to 0 as it can possibly get. I mean, we live in basically a valley of desert.
Yeah. That's why we all have to drink so much water.
Yeah, we have to
The video is on YouTube, Wind Powered Games. Yes, Rogue Hobbies. Is her channel called
Rogue Hobbies on YouTube, yeah. She's Savage Orc Guy on
Savage
everything
Orc
else.
Guy
But
on
yeah.
Instagram.
Oh, there we go, Mad Malachite with the link. Thank you. How far should you push your final highlights? Like almost to white? Depends. That's a good question, because that's one that is going to be different in cases, and it all has to do on the reflectivity of what you're painting. The brighter you go, the closer to white you go, the more the surface is going to look like it's reflecting light and is shiny, right? So, a good example here is like if you look at the flesh on the nose and stuff, I haven't gone as bright for my highlights as I have on the glasses and the cap, where I'm trying to create a reflective shine, like it's shiny plastic, right? So, everywhere else, I haven't done the same highlight level. Like the red doesn't have anything near as bright as the nose highlight, which isn't as bright as the highlight on the plastic, because all of these are different materials. Skin has an oil to it that gives a reflectiveness to it, but it's not a hard surface. It's still soft. So it's not going to be as bright as, say, the plastic rimmed glasses and the cap, right? So you're always looking at what the material is before making the determination on how bright to highlight. And we look at like just a model, right? We'll bring in Percival Chevalier, the 5th, first of his name, Destroyer of Ankles. And you can see how I've made the highlights much brighter on all of the metal bits, where I go to a little spot of white across the steel, but I don't go to white on the face anywhere except that little punch on the shine of the eyeballs, right? And I don't do as bright of a highlight on the red, but I still get contrast on everything. I'm still going from dark to bright and creating that contrast that we need to find volume and, shadows and highlights. But I'm not pushing the highlights as bright on surfaces that don't reflect. The leather highlight, you can see it has an edge highlight on it, but it's definitely not as bright as the metal. And that's how your painting starts to feel, I don't necessarily want to say more realistic, but that's the truth, right? Realism within a sense of fantasy, because we're still talking about things that don't exist. Little Owl Warrior doesn't exist. But the reality is in the material that you put on it gives it that feeling of it could exist, right? All of these things do what they're supposed to do with regards to how light reflects off of them. So it's choosing that material and determining how bright you need to go based on what it is and how it would reflect light that really drives your painting to the next level. If you choose to bring everything up to the same value, which is that brightness we talk about as value, white being the highest value, black being the lowest, if you push everything to a white highlight, it all looks shiny. And it can I call it disco ball effect, right? It makes the model look like a disco ball. There's too much going on. It's distracting to the eye. So you want certain things to not go that bright and really punch your highlights up brighter on that focal point. So if it's a model that's swinging a sword and is screaming, maybe the face and the arm with the sword is going to be your focal point. So bring your highlights brighter there, because the eye goes to that point of contrast. And then everything else away from that point of contrast gets a little bit less detail, a little bit less brightness on the highlights, things like that. So
Chuck, I said that in my head when he at the exact same time he said that. And Ryan Wallace, Percival is not cute. You better watch out.
he will kill
He's
you.
hardcore.
He is
He's gonna
hardcore.
slash your ankles.
The story of Percival is that he is a foul-mouthed, drunken hoodlum, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him.
Where's his
This is my favorite model ever,
pile
by
of
the way.
bodies?
I have a pile of bodies.
Too.
One day we need to finish him.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that after we're done
He needs to be finished.
with the bold sense of humor. We had a custom sculpted and sized pile of bodies that we can put him on. He doesn't come with these. He's supposed to be a cute owl, Strigg warrior or whatever they're called. But yeah, so we have this pile of dead dudes with him atop of them. And I'm going to do a little diorama with like the corner of a bar with the fireplace and overturned table and chairs. That's the end of the bar fight. He's also broke because he bets all his money away on the hen races. And so he drinks the swill from the bottom of all the glasses at the bar. Cigarettes and all.
Instructions unclear. Painted entire mini white. It does not look reflective.
Okay.
On the
wise
left
guy.
side, there are 12 endpoints for highlights with Pro Curl range. Bright warm, bright neutral gray.
Yeah.
The ivories, white, olive flesh, warm white, pale yellow, bright pale yellow. And then Awkwardish added white and blue as well.
Yeah, I realize I've used no
color.
white on this model, other than the little bit of white that you see on the reflection of the lenses themselves that was the white primer pre-highlight that we started with. But none of the highlights on the glasses or the cap are white. That's all bright neutral gray. And when you look at these versus what happens if I punch them to full-on white, look at how much brighter white is than anything that's on the model right now. So I still have room to go up another level. So sometimes it's really smart to make sure that you're starting your highlights at a point where you can still put a brighter color. If you go straight to white, there's no highlighting white, right? So you want to stay with like bright grays, things like that. As your initial highlight stage if you're moving in that neutral tone, and then use white as that final punch. Usually a dot works. You don't have to paint a whole lot of white on a model to get a lot of reflection.
Ryan said the backstory does make him less cute, but as he stabbed me, I'd probably say, "Oh."
That's his whole thing. That's how he gets away with it. That's how they let him into the bar the next night.
That's like Cora. She's so cute. What a pain. It's so cute.
Exactly.
Such a pain.
But a pain, yeah. But she is cute.
It's so cute.
We always look at her and go, "It's a good thing you're cute."
We say those words every day.
Every
To
day.
Cora.
It's a good thing you're cute. And says it to me from time to time too. I don't understand.
Accurate.
I don't understand.
Did you
Jason's-
think that Jason started the pile of bodies when you started watching us?
Probably.
Percival was Gen Con last year.
Mm-hmm. After Gen
After.
Con.
Well, you saw it at Gen Con. Started
Yeah.
painting it
Mhm.
after.
Yeah.
One time, Percival Chevalier found a cigar butt in an almost empty wine glass. He drank the wine, chewed the cigar butt, and stole the glass, all before the tavern opened.
Yep. Now you're talking. Now you're starting to get some insight into who exactly
Relapse knows the
Percival
story.
Chevalier, the fifth first of his name,
Yeah,
really is.
Relapse kid. As I get set from Hoosiers, as I get set to 3D print the start of my Blood Angels, would you use the new orange red as the highlight or mid-tone on them, or neither?
The new orange red is a
Orange red.
highlight. So with the way I'm doing my Blood Angels, take this or leave it. The orange red would be the first highlight, and then I add a little warm flesh into it and make the peachy eclectic salmon color, we call it, for the final highlight. That's what I'm doing all my edge highlighting with, is that. So it stays as a warm peach style color is the best way to describe it, rather than moving to pink or to orange. But the orange red is the highlight in between that and the bold pyrrole, and that works like a champ. It gives you the ability to still make things feel a little shinier, right? Because the orange red itself won't bring you that intensity because it's not that high value.
White, the paint that started Monument Hobbies. Also, you shouldn't use white to paint white.
Correct. Now you're getting it.
Percival stole my girlfriend and broke my ankles, so I couldn't duel my landlord. He did me 2 favors that day.
Stole my girlfriend, broke my ankle, so I couldn't duel my landlord. He did me 2 favors that day. See? There you go. Percival, always on top of things. You know, people don't understand the good he's doing in the world. He's really a Samaritan.
Yeah. Really quick, Baka would like to take notes on the color workup for the Blood Angel. Can you repeat that?
Oh, let me bring one that's closer to done so I can show you the whole feel of them. There's one of them around here that's like.
It has been requested that we make a short.
Isn't there? Where are they? Oh, ist. Where's the guy with the shield? Oh,
he's probably in the. I almost said bucket, but in the foam, right?
the foam?
Did you unpack those?
I don't know where those are.
Oh, they might be in your office.
I don't know.
He ate them.
We'll just go from this.
He ate them, folks.
It may be that it's attached to my Mini on the Neo bag, which I don't think is here, right? Oh.
Unless it is.
So I started with Payne's Gray base. So the models are done with a very dark blue, basically, as a base. And then dark plum over the Payne's Gray, right, to start moving it towards red. So you'll see the dark plum is in there. So here, look on this arm, you can see the Payne's Gray, dark blue on the left, then the plum in the middle, then Bold Pyro red over that, then the orange red over that, and then a little spot of warm flesh in the orange red to get that peachy color. And that's what I do all of the edge highlighting and specular style highlights with. I will use pale pink at the very end to give a little punch of brightness to those, but I don't do that until after I've done, because all of these are non-metallic gold on all of the trim. But it looks really, really good. It's a fantastic red workup because of the coolness of the blue shadows. That plum, that dark plum works a miracle in the midtones. And then the pyro red right over the top of it is just banging. So makes for a really good, quick red. All of it's done with airbrush all the way up to the final highlight that you see here. And then I've just taken the brush to reinforce those highlights with edges and a little bit of stippling in for the tops of the shoulders where I have elliptical or circular highlights. So really easy.
Ghost Hunters said there really should be a short on how to paint armor plaid. Armor plaid.
Armor plaid.
Yeah.
Noted. I'll get on that.
Okay. Those who challenge Percival are just really tired with this life. Percival just obliges them. Percival doesn't care that you are a vegan. He definitely does not. Nodens said, I've been working on my Angels of Vengeance army. It's a successor chapter for Dark Angels. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of painting black armor, but why are there so many ways to do it? But for my actual question, I have the base set, metallic set, and expansion 1. What would be a solid method of painting a good black armor with the colors in those sets?
Black, dark neutral gray, and dark blue or dark purple are your best bets out of what you got. Dark gray blue can be used too. I really like doing black with, blues in it, but purples also can look fantastic. The reason why there's so many different ways to do black is because black is one of those colors that really inherits, especially the shiner it gets, inherits a lot of the color of the environment around it, right? A pure black is really tough to find in just looking around at things. So again, pulling from my Blood Angels, when I do my Death Company and black armor, it's really not black. Again, it's Payne's Gray, right? This time I've kind of reversed it. I've actually done plum as a base coat, right, to give a warm shadow to it, which is kind of cool. And then Payne's Gray, and then I just started mixing in white blue to Payne's Gray very, very slightly to get the shine, and it gives the feel of black armor without using black. So that's one way to do it. Do I have my Raven Guard guy here? Or do you have anything over there that you've painted black armor on recently?
Let me look.
Giordano Lafontaine.
Let me look. Must pull back the curtain.
Corvus
Reveal
said,
the secrets.
wow, I actually did something right without looking on a tutorial. I did my most recent Blood Angel heavy almost exactly with the steps you suggested there.
Awesome.
And it's right if you like it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're happy with the way it turned out, tutorial or not, it's right.
I got it. So for my Raven Guard, you can see that again, I pull off a good black armor, but here I did it differently. Here I painted everything with black, dark neutral gray, bright neutral gray, and then I took black transparent mixed with a little bit of blue transparent, just a spot of blue transparent, and used the airbrush and sprayed that down from the top to give it just a hint of blue in the reflective area for the sky. So this was done, and this is in a video on our YouTube channel that's called From Rough to Beautiful or something like that. It's painting black armor, but there's a YouTube video on our YouTube channel that shows how I did this guy, right? And I mixed a little bit of red transparent with black transparent to put warmth in the shadows on him, but it's barely visible. The coolness of the blue and the black is what hits from the top. So that gives you the ability to do a nice shiny black armor as well, right? Or you can just start in the range of blues here and then do just the black transparent. Because that's the thing I didn't mention is that by the time I've done all my highlights, I go back over the top of this with black transparent, very, very filtered down to bring it back into the realm of black. So it is still bluish, but not super blue. Right, so both of them do this wind up with similar results, but with totally different techniques.
Captain Mannerings. Hello. Alexei Radzevich. Very sorry if I mispronounced your name. Could you please suggest metallic colors or mixes to paint gold parts at Corn Marines?
Ooh, yeah. Jordan's got a great workup for that kind of tarnished gold.
Yeah. Do I have?
You have any of the stuff that you do with like the brown transparent and all that?
I got this.
I mean, you got your base of Smaug's gold. That's a great one.
So this is a workup of. So I typically when I do those sorts of mix-ups recipes for true metallic golds that I want to have be rich and kind of that like ancient gold almost. I use a lot of oranges and like burnt siennas. So typically what I'll do is I'll start from like a base of burnt sienna. I'll do burnt orange or orange oxide on top of it. And then I'll build the gold on top of that. Either by mixing in a little bit of gold, like rich gold, with a touch of like orange oxide. And then I'll paint that over. That helps give you a little bit extra opacity. And also will give you this kind of darker, more rich red or like orangish gold color. And then once you're done with that, you can highlight up with regular rich gold. You can highlight up with your bright gold and then white gold. And then in areas of deep shadow, you can go back in. And what I like to do is I like to go back in with brown transparent and shade everything down with the black transparent. I actually think I have that guy. That guy's on Christopher's desk right now. I can go see if I can snag it.
Chris keeps stealing people's models.
Christopher, I'm gonna steal this thing.
He's got one of Jen's models over there.
What are you doing with Jen's model?
What?
He's got one of Jen's models over there.
We providing decor for his office?
I think so. I'm just using brown transparent right now over the black that I've done and the gray to make brown hair.
Here we go. Taking pictures of it.
Alexi, yeah, definitely.
Dr.
Bam.
Mannering
Great
said
question.
so disappointed the coins weren't individually painted non-metallic metal.
So here's your
Oh no.
gold, right? And the nice thing is when you mix in a little bit of those opaque colors into your metallics, it dulls the shine a little bit. Kind of gives that matte effect. You're mixing in more opaque pigment with your metallic flake, so the metallic flake is going to be less dispersed within that total mixture. So it's just overall going to be a lot more dull. It'll still have a little bit of shine, but not as much. So you can build that up as a gradient for your contrast, right? it's a different way of adding contrast. And the more metallics that you layer on top of one another, the more that those semi-opaque layers or semi-translucent layers will layer that flake on top of one another and get shinier and shinier and shinier the more layers that you do, especially if you work with thin layers. And that's how you get this like really crazy shine.
Mike,
But it's only on the highlights.
you're very self-aware.
In the
I appreciate
shadows,
that.
it's a lot more dull. You can see.
Mike said, noted. Chris needs more models so he can stop stealing others.
Mike, you just
I
step
read it
away
and
from
said,
the
oh
keyboard.
no. And then Jordan started talking, and Mike said, I have a feeling Jen's oh no was at me. Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
OG Mike, how's the hunt for weasels going? Oh gosh. What happened to the nose?
I think I might have flicked this a little heavy when I was
Oh.
flicking, and I got just like a little quick flick of transparent brown on the nose.
Should put a band-aid on it, like he's been in a fight. He broke his nose.
I don't need any help with more stuff I gotta paint on this guy, Jordan.
But it would be fun. It would look cool.
Thanks. You know what would look cool on the model you're painting?
Yeah.
Plaid.
I ain't painting plaid on this thing.
Well, there you go.
Odin, thank you. Odin said, speaking of metallics, I have to say that I'm super impressed with how smooth the metallics that you have made. Hands down the best I've used to date.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't use metallics a lot, but when we set out to make them, I was like, well, we need to make the best damn metallics we can so that I would like to use them when I do. And I love using them.
Oh, the light just went on.
Get really
The
bright.
light
Is it
just
3?
got bright. Nope.
Close to 3.
254.
It's like somewhere swinging 10 minutes before or after 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn that down. That's like hurting my eyes.
Yeah, 10% is where I like it. I don't know what's going on with that thing. I'll contact the company and be like, hey, what the hell's the deal here?
Now my eyes aren't exploding.
It's
but
probably
look at-
more
look
to
at
do
my-
with the fact that it's been on for about an hour.
I made it all psychedelic again. Yes.
Did it start doing that?
Yes.
It's doing the rainbow thing behind Jen.
Why? What did you do?
Turn the thing down.
I turned the brightness down.
Just hit the 10% button?
And now
See,
Jen
and
turned it
now
off.
I turned it off because I turned this. This is bad.
What the hell?
I'm sorry, we don't- I like it, but I would just sit and stare at it the whole time in the camera.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
funny.
totally would, because it's like, oh, hypnotizing.
Oh, that's so funny. Jen's like, it's cool. I like it. Can't have it here.
I'm very
too
easily
much.
distracted.
Now, here's an important question. He's supposed to have the red and white stripes on his belly.
Yes.
Are the stripes? Is there a red stripe that goes down the center of his stomach,
Do you need...
or is there a white stripe?
It's red in the center, then white, then
Perfect.
more red.
See, I knew Jason would know.
You don't need a picture?
Nope, Jason would know.
Okay.
I trust Jason's
It
knowledge
probably
of these
changes by artist, but that's the way it should be.
things. Jason's like, that's
They
the way it's
might
supposed
have
to
a
be.
timer. I don't know what. There's a lot of buttons on the remotes when really.
There's not a
all-
timer. It feels like after it's been on for an hour, it brightens up for some reason.
Yeah. But definitely
It's really odd.
interference. PTO was denied when I listed the reason as my Lord Commander needs me to slay studio ghosts. I'm sorry. Sorry that you work in such a not understanding place.
Yeah, that sounds like a problem. Any cool uses for the new magnesium color? Oh my god, it's such a great paint.
Wait until next week.
Every time you use it, it's a cool use. Yeah, it's coming up on one of our shorts, but it's a fantastic metallic.
Game Delay said make them horizontal pinstripes.
They're actually sculpted on.
Oh,
Yeah.
too bad.
Otherwise, yes, I would.
Game Delay, we had or Gamma Elay, sorry, we had someone earlier here named Elay something. Elay something. And we asked if they were related to you, and I think they left. So
Like, you people are weird. I'm out of here.
too Could
be
be
fair,
something with the
I don't blame them.
capacitors hitting a temp. Don't remember much about electronics. The flux capacitor.
The flux capacitor.
Yes. Feed it garbage, and we go to the future.
See, I see the word capacitor, and it seems made up because I thought the flux capacitor was a made up thing.
Well, it is, but it's using real words. Capacitor is a real thing.
Is a flux capacitor a real thing?
It probably is now.
That's not a relative, and I'm going to get my kids off Twitch.
Twitch is a weird place these days. I'm gonna be honest.
Noden said thank you for the explanation on Black Armor. I have you guys subbed on the YouTube, so I'll go hunt down the video for some references.
Delicious. Yeah. There's also shorts for it as well. It's a little one. It's one of the older ones. You might want to.
It's a real made up thing, like all other things. All things are either real or made up.
Yeah. Yeah, they are either real or not real.
When you work with a capacitor, you can use flux on the soldering.
Also true.
It's real in some guy's special effects warehouse. Probably also. Technically, yes, a flux capacitor is a real thing. You can buy them from O'Reilly's. Will it take me back to 1955?
You can actually go to O'Reilly's website and look at the flux capacitor, and it is funny as hell. I don't know if it's still there, but that was a thing they did for a while. Like a part that you could buy that was totally
fake.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was just like
awesome,
for a
actually.
decoration in your car.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't even know you could buy it. I think it was like $1 million or something like that. It was like
it was
like a bold sense of humor.
Personality adjuster.
Except somebody actually bought the personality adjuster or
No,
the bold
bold
sense of humor.
They're either real or not real. I love that my Lego DeLorean has a light up flux capacitor. That's awesome.
I have not watched those movies in so long.
I haven't either.
I feel like they deserve another rewatch
Yeah,
at some
good
point.
ones. I'm impressed that you've seen them, Jordan. Am I wrong?
didn't say anything.
That was a look.
I was going to respond, and then I was.
And then
there was a
like,
process going on
right.
in my head. Yes, that is what ended up happening in my head. It was really, and I was like, well,
yeah, she's right.
Nick Pie, was it April
Really?
Fool's? I just remember seeing it. Somebody had posted a link, and I went and looked, and sure enough, they had a flux capacitor on their website.
Corvus said, I've been mixing thinned magnesium with rich gold for the deep shadows on my Custodes. Such flexible paints.
That
yeah,
sounds
that
good.
would be cool. Yeah.
Oh, they still have it on their website.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm gonna go look this up tomorrow or tonight.
Bless you. Retired 11B finally broke down and ordered the MCP core box set.
Oh, did you get the new one? Because there are definitely two of them now.
He said, yeah.
Nice. I do not have the new one yet. There are definitely some new models that they've released that I really want to paint.
Corvus, there's also always a delay.
We know a guy.
I do. I'm going to reach out to him, actually. He told me to say if I needed any plastic to reach out to him, so. The guy who I know is going to see what he can do, maybe. Yeah, they have all the. I always really enjoyed painting some of the earlier iterations of the Spider Foes, but they don't really call it the Spider Foes. But they call it Spider Foes. They don't call it Sinister Six.
It's the Sinister Six now.
It-
They called them Spider Foes originally because they didn't have all 6, but now they have all 6. So
Yeah,
it's
they
the
have all
Sinister
6.
6 now.
Oh, they did.
They
switch
came
it
out
to
with
this?
Sandman and Vulture and all of
That
them.
that
now.
box is the one I really want to paint.
Yeah.
Because Sandman has
3 parts.
yeah, well, yeah, he's like Magneto. He's got the placeable like sand pillar things. I don't know how they work. I play the game a lot.
Well, one of
or I
them is
used to
his
play the game.
fist coming up out of the ground.
Yeah, it's super cool. And Vulture's really neat. I like that they used the older school design for him.
Yeah, they don't have rights to the Marvel Cinematic Universe characters.
Right.
They have rights to the comic versions, I think.
And even then, they don't do 1-for-1 for the comics, which I think is actually
Well, the comics have a really amazing line of what you can get away with because they've all been drawn tremendously different ways.
Yep. Yeah, they have a lot of flexibility with how they can design the. I mean, there's like Hallmark things, right? If you're gonna be painting Iron Man, his helmet's gotta have the Iron Man look to it, right? It's gotta have the gold faceplate with the wings that come up, with the kind of the V shape in his head, with the eye slits and stuff. But Cap's gotta have the same shield. Ooh. Man, I'm realizing all these old MCP models that I really want to paint now. I should go through my collection and
You need to stop.
Grab some out.
Mike is here.
I own them.
Oh,
These models I own.
okay. Well, because Mike is saying, "Wait, Jordan needs plastic." I got you.
No. I have a guy.
Don't ever send us anything AMG makes.
Yeah, no, definitely
No.
don't. No.
We're being serious too. Like that's not actually a joke.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah. I don't have any GW plastic needs. They've all been fulfilled already.
Atomic Mass Games, Seppo.
I guess technically that's true, Mike. You did only send resin.
Chris got GW plastic. You got 3 resin minis with huge air quotes around minis.
What is that Mr. Potato Head looking thing? George Lucas gracing us with
What?
his presence. Is AMG bad? No, AMG is great. We love AMG.
No.
We just get
No,
we,
we
get it straight from them,
Yeah.
so don't ever send us
Yeah.
any of this stuff because
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
have to.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that did probably sound like don't ever send us anything from them. 'cause
Sorry.
they're terrible. No, they're
No,
awesome.
yeah, no, sorry.
They're not
They're
bad
great,
at
but we have a
all.
really good working
We
relationship
work
with them,
a
so
lot,
we don't have to worry about AMG
Yeah.
stuff.
Don't spend money on that to send it to us.
Yeah, the guy is literally a guy from Atomic Mass who said, if you need plastic to paint on stream, let me know. So,
We're
The
good.
Mr. Potato Head looking thing is our bold sense of humor. We had a troll on one of our commercials. We manufacture this paint called Procryl, so all of the paints you see us using are our own, and they come in these bottles. And we had an ad, and we had a troll that was, not having a sense of humor. And so we got on there and trolled him back a little bit. And at one point in time, we made this product called Bold Sense of Humor. And we put the Groucho Marx glasses on a bottle and put it on the website at $499 and gave him the link, gave the troll the link, saying, hey, it really looks like you could use a pick-me-up. We suggest trying to find a sense of humor. And we gave him the link. You can find it here. And it's $499. We set it at a meme price so that no one would buy it. And everybody would recognize, oh, that's a joke. That's not real. 2 people bought it. So they didn't buy it out of ignorance. They came and talked with us and said, what is this? And I said, well, we'll figure something out if somebody buys it. And 2 people bought it. And General Ginkgo, who may be in chat, I don't know if he was here earlier, I think.
Yeah.
General Ginkgo in chat bought the first one, and so we are hand painting. I hired a sculptor, and we had it sculpted, and it's a brush holder. So it actually has some functionality to it. So it is a brush holder that we did, and the 2 clients that 2 customers that bought it will get hand painted. The first one by me, the second one by Jordan, and they will have the only ones of this size and hand painted by studio artists in the world. So it's fun.
General Ginkgo's still here. And
you're getting really close, General Ginkgo, to having it be done. I'm getting close.
The picture attached to the George Lucas comment is a picture of George Lucas, so it has to be the real one.
It must be.
It must be the real
one.
George Lucas.
It's got to be the real one. In Arizona, can you just stand outside with Smaug's wing for 4 minutes and bend it in place?
I think 4 minutes would turn him to liquid.
Yeah, probably.
You don't need that much time in Arizona.
Does the bold sense of humor hold otter pops?
Yes.
Probably.
Well, yeah, it would.
I think you could probably hold one.
Its hands would certainly hold them.
Serve it up.
Yeah, if I can cook cookies on the hood of my car or in the window of my car, in the dashboard, thank you.
Put them on a pan.
Yeah.
Pan on the dashboard. You'll have cookies by the end of the day.
Yeah, if I can
Baked
do that.
Cookies. And your car will smell amazing.
Oh my, I didn't even think about that. That sounds awesome.
I had never thought about that either until a teacher that I used to work with did it, and that's all he talked about.
They're like, my car smells like baked
smells
cookies.
So
oh my gosh.
We are in Arizona,
talk about new car smell.
Smack dab in the middle of Phoenix. Cook cookies.
Funny, you go get your car detailed, and right before you get your car detailed, you're like, you bake cookies in your car. You're like, we need to get this smell of baked cookies out of my car.
No.
Like, no, you can keep that one in there.
You bake cookies and you cook bacon. Also bake bacon.
Cooking things with solar was easy. There's a guy in Arizona that has what he calls his death laser. Have you seen this?
What?
He took they used to have these cool light focusing pieces behind the screen in large TVs when they were projection that kept edge to edge brightness good, because the projector itself would lose brightness around the corners.
The edges,
so they put this piece of plastic in old big projection TVs that had little not micro but small ridges in it that help refract the light out to the edges. Sure. Yeah. So he has one of those, and he put it in a frame, and it is like the world's most powerful magnifying glass. I used to burn ants with a magnifying glass. He has this damn thing with a plate of glass behind it or in front of it, and he can tilt it into the sun. It melts rock.
Oh my God.
He's melted stone. He melts stone with it. He was able to fuse glass and copper, which won't anneal. They won't alloy. And he was able, with the power of this solar thing, to melt glass into copper. And he got a thing that was, it had all melted together and become a solid. Not an alloy, because it was still separate. They didn't join. But he was able to melt a chunk of glass with copper penny and have a thing. It's insane. I was like, do not place your hand under this. It will burn your hand off. It literally cracked stone. It melted and cracked stone. Stone doesn't melt until like 2,000 degrees.
Yeah, or
something stupid like that. Yeah, it was like surface of the sun type stuff. It's insane. You should watch him. I'll try to remember what the guy's link is, but yeah, I think he calls it his death laser. He has his death laser. He does all this fun stuff. It's just one of those things where he goes out and he's like, okay, somebody asked me to see what would happen if we did this. And he does it. He's like, whoa! Catches on fire. He turns it off. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You've been looking to get one of those? Yeah, I had no idea. But then when I started looking at it and thinking about the physics of it, I'm like, by God, that is a focus lens, like beyond belief, a focus lens.
Yeah.
Would it have been? So we had that big projection TV at the old house in Gilbert. Would that have had that in it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah, because if you turn it one way, it's a diffuser. You turn it the other way, it's a focusing lens.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All you have to do is reverse it.
Yeah.
From the direction it hits the lamp in. It's
George
like,
Lucas said, "I'm familiar with death lasers."
I am familiar with Tesla lasers.
I'm familiar with death. You are.
The joy of the internet is people were doing stuff like this before, but now I can know about it.
Yeah, exactly. They've been doing this forever, but that seems like one of those, like, this is going to be a Darwin Award at some point.
Hey, Jason.
You know, where he forgets which way it's flipped, and he flips thinking it's got the focusing, but it burns him. I mean, I guess it can't because it won't reflect back on you. So as long as he stays on the other side of it, he's
Yeah,
safe. But
he's
holy
safe.
hell.
Can
Burns
so
his house down.
the heat gun's not quite doing it for me these days. Can
Can we
a
get
death
one of those?
laser?
That's what I'm saying. Let's
So-
just build a death laser and see what it does to resin miniatures.
I'm
Mike
so
is already
in.
saying, "I wonder if that's for sale." No,
Buy us one, Mike.
don't buy us one,
Jesus,
Mike.
like, we will, if you
Feel
buy one,
good.
Mike, if you buy all the components, we'll put it together and
No,
we will
won't.
start
No,
a series
will
where
not.
once a week we
absolutely will
do,
not.
we
That's
will
false.
do
He's
Will
lying.
It Melt?
Don't listen to anything Jason is
And
saying.
we will take
He is
miniatures
100%
and we
lying.
will
We're
burn
not doing
miniatures
any of
once a
these
week in a
things.
short. I will make that pledge
Never,
to you.
no, we're not. He's a liar.
Jen's like, nope, this is not happening.
A Fresnel lens. I think that's
love
exactly what it's called, Captain. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mike's going. Oh man, Jen is putting the foot down
Someone has
so
to.
hard.
Hey, Mike.
No.
I can
No.
unban you.
No.
I can
I can make it happen.
No.
I have the controls.
General Ginkgo, I'd fund this. I want to see this.
Let's do a GoFundMe to build a death laser so we can melt
Wait,
miniatures.
Jason,
My birthday's coming up. Hey, Mike, my birthday's next week. May 30th.
Hey, Jordan.
Jen and Jordan are gone.
I won't be here either.
That's exactly why this should not happen. Because I won't be here.
Let's see if it'll cut my
just
car in
remember-
half.
Not your car.
It'll show up in a box hidden under 5,000 Otter Pops. I made that 5,000, Nick, because 500 doesn't take up that much space. Relapse is like, you had me at lasers.
Oh no. Jason, Jen, I'm so sorry.
I feel no
come
guilt
back
here at all,
to
Mike.
the
We got
building
this.
and all
We got
of the
this.
People fully intact.
Yeah.
When I return the first Monday in June, I need everybody to be here with all their parts, nothing lasered off.
Panic Bomb says I step away for a few minutes and now we have a death laser?
Yeah, right?
How did the second fire start at Monument? Oh no.
We need an adult or adult.
I love it. Retired's like, you need an adult, you're adult. We'll set it up at my house so that there's no fear around here.
Absolutely
It's like,
not. That might be worse,
Oh my
but
god.
probably not worse.
He has it. I know exactly. I was because I've it's that toilet thinking that you do or shower thoughts because I thought about his whole setup and I'm like he's got it pretty well planned out. He has a stack of cinder blocks that he raises up on a platter and does everything on that, so he's not like under risk of like cracking his own concrete and stuff. So he has a custom built thing that he does.
That's so funny.
You thought the go bag fire was bad.
Oh no.
She won't let me have a cannon or a dinosaur, so I'm making a laser.
No.
I'm making a laser.
Are you having problems with your neighbors? Just wait till the sun comes out. The fire department responding to the fire from the
I'm
death
sorry,
laser
Jen, I'm a bad
would want to play.
influence.
Yeah, the fire guys would be like, really cool.
They probably would.
you should just invite them over.
I love
You're
how
like,
Retired says, when I end up as the adultier adult, something has gone terribly
Right?
wrong. Sometimes I feel like that. I feel like if I'm the one making the decisions, I'm like, you guys have really effed up. Like, this is not good. A dino cannon? Why not? Exactly. We're not in an industrial park. Next to us is a child care center.
Care center.
And an office building.
Oh, yeah, over there's an office building.
Where the VA has offices.
And then literally right next to that, we have the fire department.
Yeah.
And right next to that, my apartment building.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's Jordan's apartment, the firehouse, and our office is basically how this works.
Yeah.
Keep the laser at Jordan's apartment. Ooh.
No thanks. I'm good. I would like to have an apartment complex to live in.
Put the death ray on like a flatbed truck and just drive around town. People honk at you. You're like, oh, really?
Like, you guys should be afraid.
The opposite of slow cooking. Yes. Jordan isn't going to get his security deposit back.
I mean, wasn't that expensive as a security deposit?
That's like the Tiger King one. I am never going to financially recover from this.
Yeah. Are there wildfires in the Sonoran Desert? You better believe it.
Oh, yeah. There was one going just the other day, right?
Yeah. This is the time.
Yeah, Gabe's saying we had one this week, actually. Yeah, because we have a ton of forest land. As you start getting into the hills and stuff, and that stuff burns like kindling. Annually, we have fires, not to the intensity that sometimes California does, but we have really bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the fire that they had in Seattle. Well, it was technically in Oregon / Washington a little bit. That was like went into California. Or no, that doesn't make sense. It was a couple years ago. It was really bad, and it basically we got caught in between a fire that was in the north part of Oregon or somewhere in Oregon, and then the ones that were happening in Canada, and we got sandwiched between a whole bunch of smoke, and it was awful. Sucked. TLDR, story over.
I remember being blown away the first time I'd moved from the east to the west, from New York to California, and learned that, why does it smell like wildfire? And it's like, oh, because Canada's on fire.
All
and I'm
the
like,
time.
I'm in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't smell LA smog, but I can smell Canada fires. I was like, that's a big fire.
That was like last year too that
Here
that
we
happened.
smelled it once.
Well, yeah.
But when I was in California the first year I moved there, first like 2004,
No,
2005.
but I mean last year I remember in California they were saying.
Oh, same thing?
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
That they were like the sky was orange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know that. Yeah, I mean, you could
In
smell
California.
burning, and it was from Canada.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I was mentioning it while it was happening. My friend almost had to evacuate his house because of the fires up in Canada. They were insane. Luckily, he did not have to, especially since he had just built his house. That would have sucked. Yeah, he sent me some photos that are terrifying to look at. Like he lives on a lake, and the whole other side of the lake is on fire.
Yeah. My mom, every
Like,
now and then, she
oh
lives
my
up in
gosh.
Colorado, close to Glenwood Springs, and when there's fires in the mountains, she'll send photos of the fact that the fire is making the side of the background, it's silhouetting the mountain across the highway from
Yeah.
her with like what looks like hell.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, we're just waiting to see if the fire comes over the mountaintop and then we have to leave. She's gotten lucky that it's never crossed over to where she's at, but that highway along the 70 where she is catches fire all the time.
Well, Goopster said I'm in northern Alberta and had to evacuate last week due to fire.
Oh, geez.
gosh.
And then said LOL.
LOL. What a response. Ha, that's funny.
Maybe it's just like, okay, this is just a thing again.
Just one of those, well, here we go again.
Say, hey, Canada, good job. No pollution as much as us, Canada. Hold my maple syrup.
Holding my maple syrup.
Not polluting as much.
So funny, because
People talk about CO2 creation from like cars and stuff, and then Mother Nature's like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn half of your world down.
Yeah.
Yeah, OSB said my wife and I moved from Oregon in part because the smoke was so bad that my wife would have headaches for a month.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's like tremendous like respiratory problems.
Oh yeah, it was saying I live in a valley. Oregon. Yeah, cannibalistic zombie. I live in a valley in Oregon, so I regularly can't breathe.
Using a little bit of noosh with some burnt sienna. Get a little bit of weathering on Mr. Cap over here.
Jordan, are you nooshing?
I am nooshing.
Yeah.
Yep.
How
Noosh,
dare you,
noosh,
noosh?
How dare I noosh?
How dare you, noosh?
Well, noosh is great. Why are we saying bad things about noosh?
How dare you?
Don't see it getting better. Fires have gotten really, like fires have gotten bad, or just air quality in general. And if the fires have gotten bad, is there like a cause?
Heat death of the universe.
Nooshing on stream.
Exactly. What kind of channel do you think this is, Jordan?
Pretty sure that's against TOS.
It's most definitely not. I checked before stream.
They've loosened the terms quite a bit since OnlyFans started stealing all their money.
That's true. They started making OnlyFans 2.0.
What's worse though, the fires or just the air quality? And why are the fires getting worse? Decades of fire suppression paired with more extreme weather events.
I know the Pacific Northwest has been having record-breaking heat waves every year.
Got warmer and drier every year, so forest fires.
Yeah. A lot more places in Seattle or Washington are starting to require AC now. Or at least starting to put it in more frequently, if not requiring it.
I've learned one thing as a kid, it's only you can prevent forest fires.
Yes.
Only you can prevent.
But
forest
now
fires.
it's only you can prevent wildfires. They changed it because they're not always in the forest.
Don't be smoking and flicking your cigarette butts into places where fires could start, folks.
I'll flick my butt wherever I want to.
Or as someone was talking about the one that started with a from a gender reveal.
That's the one that I was talking
Yeah.
about.
That
years
was
ago.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gigantic.
Yeah. Dumb people doing dumb things.
I remember seeing photos from some people who I knew who lived in California, and they were just like, it literally looked like the end of days. It was creepy looking.
T. Schmidt, hooray! Yay? Or no? T. Schmidt said, "Happy summer, nerds. School's out, and the mini nerds are here all day, every day, again." Yeah, the gender reveal one was California.
Yep.
Dumb people dumb people having babies.
Yeah, why are dumb people having babies? You know what? That's an excellent question.
You're off like a wounded gazelle. Corvus. Thanks for hanging out. Grasslands are burning? Nothing I can do. Sorry. I only prevent forest fires.
Yeah, it's like I was not prepared for this. Forest fires are my thing.
Yeah.
You gotta go find the other bear. He deals with electrical fires and stuff.
In Texas, I'm sure we had forest fires down in like New Braunfels and things like that from time to time, but you had grass fires along the highway all the damn time.
Yeah.
People throwing their cigarette butts out the car window and they light the whole side of the freeway on fire. Be driving from like Dallas to Austin through flames, leaping over the highway.
Hey, Jason.
Sir, yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask a sort of unfortunate question.
What's that?
Potentially. maybe you're prepared and planning for it already.
What's that?
Are you not going to bring up the yellow to the top of the bottle where the paint would show?
No.
Okay.
I'm not putting paint color in the bottle.
Okay. So it's just an empty labeled bottle.
Yeah, I don't give a damn.
All right. The man has spoken.
The bold sense of humor is dead inside. There's nothing in there.
It's totally dead inside. It's completely empty.
Smokey the Bear and McGruff the Crime Dog have given me a very limited skill set. And Dick Van Dyke.
And the Native American guy, the indigenous guy that told you not to he cried one tear
Yeah.
at the trash heaps.
Oh, that's right, yes. Somebody please tell me, besides Jason, that you know why I also added Dick Van Dyke in there.
Me?
Do you know?
No.
Oh. Mr. Yuckmouth.
Also, Mr. Yuckmouth. That's hilarious.
I don't even think that guy was really Native American. Probably not.
He definitely was.
Oh. Like, that was from the 70s.
I saw something I feel like I saw something that was like an obituary for him not too long back.
Huh. Oh, there was a gender reveal with a helicopter crash? Yikes.
Yikes.
That doesn't sound good.
That's not ideal. I don't
mean,
know if we're
you
going to
could
get the
just-
refund for that.
You could just call people. Shabe. I don't know. I haven't seen Night at the Museum. Gabe just said, Dick Van Dyke is the guy in Night at the Museum, right? And I don't know if he's being serious.
I think, was Dick Van Dyke the guy who gave him the keys? Who worked the day shift?
I don't know that. For some reason, your mind goes to Mary Poppins. He was in Mary Poppins, but that's not what I'm referring to. Because footstools are evil. Yes, he did public service announcements about avoiding footstools, being very careful.
Wait, really?
No.
Okay. Look, it was the 70s. I don't know.
You know, we could really get to a
Yeah.
point where Jordan's out giving misinformation to every person
It's
he
like, yep.
meets if we're careful, chat.
That's exactly it.
Jordan will be out going, did you know that Dick Van Dyke?
Cannibalistic Zombie, congratulations. Dick Van Dyke Show is a classic. Fat Albert character with the muffled mouth was Mushmouth.
Mushmouth was Fat Albert.
Yeah. Not that you have to watch it, but it was really good. It was great. Ghost Hunter. I'm not reading that one. And I still have not seen one single person know what Dick Van Dyke, why Dick Van Dyke goes in the same group as Smokey and McGruff. Known to many as the Crying Indian, Oscar Iron Eyes Cody had a successful career portraying Native Americans in more than 200 films and countless television shows over his 64-year career, culminating in one of the most famous and successful ad campaigns of all time, in which he was depicted as a Native American shedding a tear over the rampant littering problem in America. Ironically, however, Cody was
really?
actually the son of two Italian
Oh my
immigrants.
God. How crazy is that?
That's kind of horrible. And insane.
I would have sworn the guy was Native American.
Between Diagnosis Murder and Murder, She Wrote, I'm pretty sure they were just serial killers who were using cover stories to murder weekly. Childhood ruined, sorry. No one is around a new dead person every week. Jessica Fletcher was a serial killer. I love that. That's like the Angry Golden Girls. Solved it. I solved the murder. I know who did it this week too.
I think I'm just about ready to glue this guy up.
You done?
I'm not done, but I think I'm at the point where I'm ready to be gluing it on.
Committing.
I am committing. We're doing it. Right now.
Captain Crunch is the worst serial killer. Ruins the roof of my mouth. We're gonna leave the Golden Girls alone. Wasn't it someone? Was it you, Ghost Hunter, that had the Golden Girls models? Someone here had Golden Girls models.
It was like a limited edition Golden Girls something or other that somebody was talking about. Not
With
too
like
long back.
machine guns.
What's that?
With like machine guns.
Yeah, they were like.
They were like a gang.
Yeah.
Cannibalistic said I glued the barbed wire onto my post-apocalyptic entry this morning. That was last month, wasn't it?
No, it's this month.
Is it this month?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh. You only wish you had Golden Girl. Well, somebody did. Someone posted them in Discord.
I like this guy.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say that Dick Van Dyke was the stop, drop, and roll guy.
Fire.
He was the stop, drop, and roll guy?
Yeah. If you found yourself caught on fire.
They used to teach us how to put fires out if we caught on fire.
Yeah, well, I remember that.
Oh.
I
Do you
probably
know
have
stop,
seen
drop,
it.
and roll?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know they still did these.
Well, still, I mean, let's be honest. I learned this when I was very, very young, and I am 30.
You are 30. Yes.
I am 30, which means that this was
And I
at
am
least
older
this was
than
over
30.
20 years ago. I'm aware of that, but I will say 20 years ago, 30 years ago is a long time for
Right?
Cannibalistic Zombie. I
There
thought
are
the
so
same thing. I
many
thought that
things
fire
that we
and
thought, yeah, quicksand.
Quicksand.
would be much more of a risk.
fire were going to be much more of a problem when I grew up. Turns out,
You did, yeah. That's how he got practice. It's from the footstool. Until the one season when he got clever.
that's right. It's
And
Black Site Studios has the
stepped
Golden
away
Gun
from it.
Girls.
Golden Gun. Okay. But yeah, there was one season where sinkholes. Although sinkholes
Sinkholes are a real deal.
do exist and they are terrifying. I am so afraid of a sinkhole. Yeah, then they
So-
put it back and they fill it.
Yeah, sinkholes, California, Florida.
There have been some here in Arizona.
Oh,
which
really?
is very scary for me. There was one just a couple weeks ago.
wait,
Like
what?
a week or two ago. Yeah.
Like under a house.
No, it was
Or
in
in
the
the street. Yeah,
But
in
a
the
car
street.
fell in it.
In the U.S., it's more typical in the streets because all of our infrastructure is there. That like
Yeah.
the water pipes that leak and wash out all the dirt underneath a road, and then the road collapses. Fun story, actually, with a convo with Cannibalistic Zombie, hanging out with a family, and had a moment where I was browsing Instagram and looking over a post about Louise's paint range. The nephew, in age 9, looks over my shoulder and over the couch and goes, "Uncle Nick, why are you watching paint? You don't watch paint dry for, like, fun, right?" Look here, kid.
As a matter of fact,
Relapse is afraid of stink holes. As we all are, Relapse, as are we all. The place you used to work has one in the front of the property.
car swallowed by sinkhole after crash involving fire hydrant near Phoenix Mall, May
Ooh.
8th.
Well, there you go.
Yikes.
Yeah.
We do actually watch paint dry for fun. Well, we watch the outcome of paint drying. That's the thing. We're going for the end game here. The paint drying is just a function of the process.
Did they believe it?
I hope so. I'm waiting for responses. You've been getting some sinkholes in Nottinghamshire? Well, yeah, infrastructure gets old. Leaky pipes. They don't have to leak a whole lot to ruin your day 50 years from now.
Oh, I really regret that we live in an old house. The place I used to work was a sinkhole.
But it's a good thing that like the pipe that delivers the water to a house is like a half inch. It's not gonna wash out the earth. It's not under enough pressure. The street, on the other hand, has a big pipe. The big pipe in the street is what causes problems.
Using a little bit of bright yellow ochre here to do some edge highlighting with dry brushes.
Nick Garcia, oil paints especially. If you're watching paint drying your paint with oils, you got way more patience than I do. Because of like air pockets, Ghost Hunter? I don't understand. What causes the hole that it all falls into? Underground water. Florida's like at sea level, so that could definitely
I feel like
be
I've seen a lot of stories about sinkholes in Florida.
groundwater
But that may be
intrusion.
media bias.
That might be media.
Because there are probably sinkholes everywhere, but why am I in Arizona hearing about it in Florida? Because Florida.
You know, Florida is Florida.
Yeah, Captain, exactly. Infrastructure not being repaired is usually the biggest problem. Microbursts, like storms?
We have microbursts here. And they are pretty, like, chaotic.
The wind picks up, blows crap all over the place, and then all of a sudden it's torrential rain, and then
it'll
it stops
pick
and
up,
it's
like,
sunny.
Yeah, it'll take the awning off a house.
Trees are all over
Put
the
it in someone
ground, and
else's
it's sunny
backyard.
again.
So weird.
Yeah, the microbursts are no joke. Pick up entire trees.
Mole people, says Paint Liquor. They can bring a plane down. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Florida has a lot of limestone, so when water gets in there, it eats away the limestone, making caves. Which sounds cool.
Until
you
it
put a car
happens.
on top of it, and it collapses.
It happens right under your house. Cenotes, they call them in Mexico, has a better ring to it.
Sinkholes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cenote.
Cenotes.
You take your diving gear and you go, swim in the water. It's great. It's a nice vacation spot until you realize that, oh.
Game delay, though, like I just said, there was one May 8th in Phoenix. We have probably about the same amount of water here as you have in Utah. Nottingham has a whole network of limestone caves.
Good thing I'm not going to Nottingham.
Oh, scary.
Feel safer already.
This is where they go, oh, it's worse where you're going.
Yeah. It's 340.
340? What the heck? I really want to peel all the stuff off of this, but it's not done. Yeah.
You blame Florida for the Phoenix sinkholes?
So do I.
I mean, it's Florida, so. As I said a long time ago when we were talking about Disney, I'm not going to Disney World on any day, any time of the year, because I don't like Florida. Ryan Wallace said I read a report that a lot of Florida's most NA artifact can't find because they're 23 or so miles into the Gulf of Mexico because the coastline was a lot bigger 16,000 years ago. Jordan, is it just the angle or is Cap's neck super extended, like clearly broken?
It's a little wonky. I couldn't quite get it to be perfect. He's got like a little shirt on his chest. His head is supposed to be completely turned the other direction. So
He's also got his chin strap on, which is making it look funky because the chin strap looks like a gap
Yes.
between the chin and the
Yeah.
chest, and that's not the case.
correct.
He definitely looks like he's in a bad way.
I mean, that's the idea. That is the idea.
He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim.
He's very eepy and maybe too sleepy. Look at the poor guy. He's all tuckered out.
Tuckered out. I love that. He's tuckered out.
Definitely put a little bit of highlights on the chin strap so that we can separate that out. Put a little bit of texture on the knee pads and leather here. Woo-wee, 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 fire time.
When those guys were here and we were talking to them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is our third call this morning," and it was 5 a.m.,
Oh,
5:30 in the morning. I was like, "Third call?" They go, "Yeah, all for the same thing."
That's insane. Is that common to have that same sort of thing happen?
According to them, yes, happens all the time.
Oh.
They were none too pleased.
I bet.
I feel like the majority of fire department calls are not actual fires. The fire department goes first, right?
What's that?
Doesn't the fire department go out first on most calls?
On what calls?
Like on emergency calls. Like I feel like most of the calls that the fire departments go out on are not actual fires. They're like other emergencies.
Yeah, a lot of, I don't know what the basis is, but I know a lot of car accidents require one truck just in case. There's a lot of them that they'll call a truck out just in case. But I'm not sure. I know we have some people that have been in the department in chat. They may not be here today, but
Extreme has a question. How do you not rub off the paint? Finished up a Rancor and I had to patch so many spots because my finger placement just kept pulling paint off.
so the reality is you will always rub
That's
off
intriguing.
paint, right? Handle the model less, handle it lighter. You can try wearing a glove. Some people's like body oils have a different pH balance than others, and so some will strip paint like it's paint stripper, literally.
Yeah.
I know people that cannot touch a model with their bare hands because just the skin oil on their hands will strip off varnish, right? Doesn't seem healthy to me, but whatever. But you never know. And so if you're having problems where you seem to be rubbing off a lot, it could just simply be the model too. The model may have a lot of sharp, pointy edges on it, and anywhere you have a right angle or more not any more tighter angle, right, where you have a sharper edge, you're going to rub paint off of that no matter what you do if you're holding it there. So you'll notice that we hold our models all the time, but I'm not holding it. I'm letting it cradle by gravity into the palm of my hand. So there's not a lot of friction being caused anywhere. If I want to really grip it, then, I'm literally like doing like this by putting my thumb up underneath this arm and letting gravity hold it in place. I'm not really holding the model at all. You can take it right out of my hand without me moving it, but I can still, without gripping it hard, paint everything I want. But I'll still rub paint off like the edge of these glasses where the sharper angle is and stuff like that. So I'll just go back and touch it up. If you're finding yourself rubbing it off a lot, try the what are they, nitrile gloves or the non-latex gloves, right? Those help.
I used to put saran wrap around the model.
Yeah, I would wrap the model with saran wrap, especially in the summer here, because your hands start to sweat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you can wind up with a problem of your hand sweat taking stuff. So,
Victor said metallic medium is insane for highlights, but what other uses are there?
There's a lot of fantastic uses for metallic medium.
Mixing it with other colors to make your own colored metallics is really the reason, or mixing it in with the current metallics to make a tint. So you're not mixing white paint in, you're mixing metallic medium in to create highlight colors from the darker metallics. Works really well. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people wish they had a mid-tone silver. You just put metallic medium into dark silver and you have a mid-tone silver immediately. But also mixing the transparents in with it, you can get any color of metallic you want. So if you were painting what Jordan's painting, but you weren't doing the non-metallic, that's the way I would do that whole setup.
With
like the gold on
stuff.
Thanos, the gold and red on Iron Man, the red on the shield for Cap. All of that would be done with metallic medium with transparent paint mixed in, so that you can get that metallic feel, but you can make any color you want. So yeah, it's a fantastic medium.
Ghost Hunter, most people don't.
Yeah, metallic burnt red. Generally, because it does have sort of a tint base, it is a little lighter. It's not completely clear metallic. It has a little bit of a white, milky highlight to it. You want to make sure that the color you mix in is darker than what your intent is for the outcome, because as you mix paint into it, that paint will lighten due to the kind of white value in the metallic medium. It's a super versatile paint. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. Songer, yeah, metallic medium is in that set for a reason, because it really makes all of those metallic colors a way bigger variety of color by mixing it into them. But because it has a heavy, heavy metallic flake in it, it keeps the metal sheen of the metallics. It doesn't dilute the sheen like adding in white to brighten up a color would, right? Because as soon as you put an opaque color or a non-metallic color into a metallic color, you start to lessen the shine of the metallic color. So using the metallic medium will brighten them up. We don't have a shade that acts that way, but black transparent does a really, really good job. Black and brown transparent do a great job of mixing in with the metallics to make darker shades of them, because as you shade the color darker, you're not really necessarily looking for more shine out of the metal flake. So it going away a little bit doesn't matter as much. Like when Jordan was showing his Constantine Valdor, he did that in the shadows for shading, and you lose a little of the metallic sheen, which is exactly what you expect from metal. So it brings about a whole lot of better highlight shading contrast when dealing with metallics that way.
No.
For the highlight, though, you want a lot of shine, so the metallic medium is the way to go there.
Relax Studio said, "Hey guys, almost done with my monument paint collection. Just bought the transparent and love them.
Awesome.
Thank you, Relax.
And don't eat the paint, the rest of you.
Don't eat the paint.
The rest of
Relax,
you hoodlums.
Don't eat the paint either, but I didn't want you to feel like I was saying that only to you.
The rest of you
These other
hoodlums.
Hooligans.
Hooligans.
Hooligans and hoodlums.
All we got here.
What else you got going on that guy?
Huh?
How much you got left on that guy?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm curious to see what other things you're
He
planning
needs
on
a don't
doing
eat the
to
paint
it.
sticker on the back now.
Oh, yeah. But then we don't get to look into these stupid, awesome looking sunglasses. Schlebby. Wow, Jordan. Looks like you're nearly ready to reprime.
Question: the plasma glow on Iron Man. Can you tell Relax Studio the recipe, Jordan?
Yup. It's really easy. You paint everything white, and then you paint over it with a glaze of sky blue. And then I like to mix in a touch of transparent blue into that mix if I want areas where it's a little darker. You can also use blue too. That would work just as well.
Jordan, when are the Infinity Stones getting done?
That is after I finish the base. So to go over kind of the last steps of this, right? Because we're looking pretty far along on this whole process now. Now is just focusing on darkening up the base so that Thanos remains the focal point, and I want to make sure that these two also remain a focal point. So the brighter areas need to be up here, and then it needs to be darker down here, but we need to have almost like, think of like spotlights on these two characters, and then the rest can kind of fade into the background. So I don't know if I'm going to do a lot of like airbrush glazes, or if I'm going to, brighten things up a little bit more with some various different applications of color and paint up here. So that's kind of a big thing that I want to focus on. I need to finish painting the boots and the leather on Cap. Paint a couple of these other things in here, like the fire hydrant and these stairs. I got to paint the little, I don't know, bent rope, hanging rope things. I don't know, they're weird looking. Kind of just make sure that it's all finished, and then we're gonna do that. I'm gonna do some touch-ups on here. I've got a little bit of white onto the front part of the glove, so I gotta fix that. And then then we're gonna do the gems. The gems are basically in a similar process to what I was just talking about with the glow. I'm gonna paint them white, and then I'm gonna use probably transparent colors to paint the colors onto them. Also have to make a mental note and write down all the different colors. I think it's like red, blue, orange, purple,
Green. Timestone's green.
Yeah. Timestone's green.
Power is
purple. Soul is orange. Reality is red.
Mind is yellow.
And then there's 6. So the 6th one is the not time, the space, which is blue.
Yeah.
So I got to do all those. Yeah, Thanos put Tony and Cap in the beatbox.
Okay.
Green is thumb. Good to know, Mike. I think the soul gem is the one on the back of the hand. Shelby crocheted an infinity gauntlet once? What?
Video, it never happened.
Yeah, I gotta see pictures of this thing. I don't believe it. It was actually a gift for Liam. That's funny. Is it? I think it's the one he puts on the back of his hand after banging out of Jarvis's head. Maybe. I think in the comics it's different though. But I don't really know if it matters too much. Hard to say. Paint them all bronze and pretend. Yes. It's all a lie. I have been telling you all lies this whole time.
Jason, you really are going to need to paint another one of these.
You liking it?
Mm-hmm. Needs to be on a shelf. It's a bold sense of humor. Relax.
Yeah, we had an internet troll on one of our commercials quite a while ago, and we troll back to some extent, good fun, and we created a version of our paint called Bold Sense of Humor, and it was a bottle like this that said Bold Sense of Humor, had the Groucho Marx glasses, and was $499 and 99 cents, basically $500 on the website, and we, it was a meme, but we had a couple of customers and people in chat ask, what happens if you sell one?
What happens?
And I was like, well, we won't, but if we did, I'll figure something cool out. And 2 people bought it. So, not the troll, but yeah, two of our community members bought them. And so we are painting up 2 full-fledged models of him. It's we turned it into a brush holder. We made a sculpt specially for it and turned it into a brush holder. So now you have the Monument Desk Buddy, Bold Sense of Desk Buddy, that'll hold your paintbrushes for you. And this one is going off to General Ginkgo, who may still be in chat. Oh, there he is, General Ginkgo. Yep, that one is going on display right above your painting area. Oh, it's going to be so good. We got to get pictures once you get it. It's great. Yeah, it's a fun thing. I wanted to make sure, these guys were crazy enough to buy, a $500 joke. So we wanted to make it something that was really cool. And eventually I think we'll probably give them most of their money back, if not all, and we'll shrink it down and maybe sell it for real. Because they've been fun. I painting this has been super fun. I can imagine getting it because it while it doesn't have a ton of detail, it's a lot of really cool practice painting. So I'd be excited to make a scaled down one that still holds the brushes fine, which it would if we scaled it down some. But no one else will have these giant size ones that are hand painted by myself and Jordan.
True.
So we're not even going to print more of these big ones out for us here. So there you go. We need an oversized, bold sense of humor out front. Now that might be something we would do it someday, is get somebody who could mold a huge one that would be inside the building as you came up. That would be awesome.
Monument mascot.
Relax. Like I said, we may do them in short batches, smaller though, right? A much smaller version of it that would come just as a resin print that you could paint yourself. We won't do any of the big ones this size. The rest of us, you're going to end up with ones painted by Jen. You let her know that. I'll let you tell her.
And good luck.
How would you go about painting vampire flesh? Again, there's a big variety of what that means. If you're looking for something that just kind of pale, not quite dead flesh, still has blood underneath the skin, but is hundreds of years pale old, then you can start with a purple or even a camo green or something like that, and then layer up thinly, skin over the top. I generally start with shadow flesh just because it gives a little bit of pinkishness underneath, and then you can move to olive flesh over the top of that, or bright neutral gray is a great skin tone. But in order to do it that way, you really need to be able to be comfortable with your glazing and your filtering techniques. You can do the same thing by starting with a brighter color of flesh, like olive flesh or something like that, and then if you're more comfortable using washes and shades to shade it back down, you can do that. But I tend to want to use greens and purples or blues to shade with, because that gives you that kind of bruised feel of that near dead flesh. You tell her that I told you to tell her she was painting the rest. Got it. Wait, what? I did kind of tell you to tell her that she was doing that. But it didn't start with me. So this is horrible. Shelby, I think it would be something that would be stolen if it was outside. Unfortunately, if we put one of these things, it was an actual big sculpted thing out in front of the building, it wouldn't be there long. some school kid would have it be part of his hazing that they'd come and unbolt it and steal it. I can imagine something like the Kips Big Boy. Or did you know Kips?
No,
You
but I
remember
think
Big
I
Boy?
know what you're talking
Big
about.
Boy was like had the swirly brown hair and he had like the white and red checkered outfit and the chef's bib and was carrying the big burger. It was Bob's Big Boy. It was Kip's Big Boy in Texas, but Bob's Big Boy elsewhere. Paint Licker's like, yeah, some school kid. Oh, you'd come get it probably. Yeah, only a kid would do that. Yeah, exactly, Nodens. Exactly. A bigger inflatable gorilla. Now that might work. You know, like we did Usharon, which while being not a vampire, more of a ghoul, was done in that same sense, right? Here I used red gray as a top color. And then, what did I use after the red gray? I used a little bit of the bright shadow flesh on him. And then warm flesh over the top, and all of those in very light filters give you kind of a good undead coloring for the skin. That still has a little bit of life, that bruisey. If you cut him, there might still be red, like some sort of blood that would come out, but it might be like coagulated, bruisey, gross, right? Phil should just come grab that and paint the base rim black.
Yeah, just to finish it.
Like, Phil, you can get your model and just paint the base rim black.
You hear that, Phil?
It's done. I'm not doing it anymore. You would certainly not plan to steal the bold sense of humor like on Discord or anything like that. Oh yeah, I totally trust you guys. I know that nobody in our little family of amazing community members and customers would come and steal the bold sense of humor from out in front of Monument HQ. I know you would never do that.
Extreme is saying get a rooftop inflatable gorilla of it. And are we talking about the bold sense of humor? Because
Yes.
I am
Wouldn't that be great?
fully on board.
Jen's like, I'm down.
We were
I am
talking
fully on
about
board
it
with
as
this.
if it were like the Kips Big Boy, babe. Like
Bob's
get
Big
like a
Boy?
solid one bolted to the ground out
Who's
front would be
Kip?
so good.
Bob's Big Boy.
Well, Kips was Texas, where I grew up.
Uh,
I mentioned Bob's, so I gave him credit. It was Bob's Big Boy, but it was Kips originally, where I was.
There's two things all about this that I love. One, the fact that you made an empty bottle. And two, the fact that I know that it's an empty bottle.
Mike said Jordan wished me luck when Jason told me to tell you that he said that you were what?
I didn't say anything like that.
Jason told me to tell you that he said it's your painting.
You see where this is going, right?
Jen, just remember,
This is Mike you're talking
one, this is Mike. Two, everybody in here is a liar.
to.
You can hire me for security. I'll provide 24/7 surveillance. And you can pay me
Wow.
with paints and brushes.
I mean, we'll take you up on that,
24/7.
That's a great deal.
depending on how many paints and brushes you think you need.
I didn't buy anything. Like,
You don't lie. That's a lie in and of itself. All right, Jensen Germs, we're out of here.
is it time to go forth for the remainder of our...
Thank you so much for everybody hanging out with us in Twitch and in YouTube. Please hit that follow button if you've not already. We love having you as part of the community. Remember to hit all the links that Jen is going to generate in the chat.
In just a second.
And they will take you over to the store to buy more Monument Hobbies products or try them for your first time. All the paints you see us using here and all the brushes you see us using are our very own. You can get access to them, give them a try. Hopefully they'll be the most amazing hobby products you've ever used if you're painting miniatures and playing tabletop games. Love having you here. We stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Phoenix, Arizona time here in the U.S. So we'd love to see you back here for the stream for more chat and fun and fart jokes and painting. We had some really great questions from the chat today. We always love that, where we can give you some good painting references and things of that nature. And then you can join the Discord, where we have that 24/7. You can integrate with us, find out more about what's going on here at HQ, what new products are coming out, what craziness we're up to, and meet lots of great people and get great inspiration for your own painting. We've got a tremendous amount of great artists, over 4,000 amazing artists, along with Ghost Hunter, in the Discord. So we'd love to see you there. And you can check out all of the videos after the fact over on the live tab at YouTube, where all of our streams go after the fact. So they're there for reference for you all the time. And we watch paint dry. That's what we do. And we're very proud of it. Very proud of it. One Florida man, not a geologist. Thanks so much. Stick around. If you're over on YouTube, come over to Twitch. You're going to raid and go in to get some more hobby goodness throughout the rest of the evening. Jen's going to pick somebody awesome to go take a look at. Make sure you drop a follow in their chat as well, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow. Adios, gang.
It's a lot of pressure to find someone awesome. Bye.